I did a pull from the greenhouse. I needed onions, and the other day I needed mustard greens. One's in the fridge. I didn't trust. They've been in there a while. So I was kind of going for green onions, which there are some green onions in there, but there was also this big white one, which, you know, you can't tell from the top what it is. And some little white ones. There's a lot of different kind of onions inside the greenhouse, and I checked on the stuff outside the greenhouse. You can't see it from here, but there's a couple winter-friendly vegetables that just not doable to harvest. It's really cold, so when it warms back up, the things that are outside the greenhouse will perk back up. They won't die. Brussels sprouts and mustard greens is what's outside, and carrots. Last year I had really awesome carrots all winter long that I left in the garden and pulled up on nice days. This year, my winter crops didn't do good, and I'm sad. But it's okay. Not that sad. I'll eat what's there. And I noticed a bunch of spinach coming up and some other things. It's a mixed bag of seeds in there. So, spinach, I think I seen broccoli, new broccoli coming up, and some things I can't identify yet. I was checking my seeds this morning. I have to check and see if things are drying out. I've added plastic to keep these from drying out, and look, this is mold. That was vinegar and water. So I'm in that phase now where I've planted seeds and kind of everything's calmed down from other things. And when you plant seeds, you go and look at them all the time. That's all you do. Every day, a couple times a day. Well, is there a sprout yet? Is there a sprout yet? That's the phase I'm in. I have room in here for more. Look how dirty. The things that I have planted are the hibiscus trees. My tree spit out seeds this year. Just literally dropped them on the floor of my kitchen. And what else? Passion flower. I had got fruit last year. These are things that take a long time. Cherry trees, they take a long time. Cherry tree pits. So, and I restarted my turmeric, which is the pot behind that pot on the heat. I'm restarting that pot too. That's Tropicana. I don't know why it died back, but I'm restarting it. Talk about my tree. This tree was in the way. I mean, it was just too big for the house when I brought it in. Is why it ended up in the kitchen, but it was still in my way. And now that I have it up on this table, it is never in my way. I watered this with Epsom salt in my watering can. And I don't have any more yellow leaves, although there's sure not many leaves left. It's spitting out new ones though. It'll recover. But I love it up here. This is perfect. I won't have to worry about it next year when it goes outside and comes back in bigger. The ashwagandha had white flies. I have finally gotten rid of the white flies, but the ashwagandha, I cut it all the way back because it just wasn't looking good. And then I went and got my ashwagandha seeds and planted a bunch in here. And sometimes they take a long time to come up too. So far, everything I planted is a time-consuming process. In December before Christmas is the right time to plant those types of things. You don't want to be planting, you know, tomatoes right now, although I could see myself doing something like that. My other passion flower, I cut this all the way back. It wasn't looking fabulous, but it's regrowing. By the time it gets up to, you know, a better height will be in January, and it'll get more sun. I also changed my spray for spider mites. I am using alcohol in my water bottle with soap, you know, diluted. I don't have exact measurements. I eyeball everything. You know, maybe one part, half a part to, you know, a half a water bottle with a squirt or two of soap. That's how I measure. So I've used 2 different kinds of organic sprays. I've repotted things and, you know, clean pots, and I still have spider mites. And the way I'm dealing with this other one is I'm just going leaf by leaf and looking at it very closely. And if I see any specks, I wipe them off, which means, you know, with pressure smooshing them. So I'm hand removing them at this point. This leaf doesn't look great. Most of them do though. This one's nice and green and strong. So I have seen some specks and I have wiped them off and killed them. And I'm gonna treat it again sometime soon. So anyway, I'm just gonna keep fighting them, keeping plants, and I'm gonna keep fighting whatever bug gets in my way. I was talking about growing cherries. I grow a lot of groceries. I got some dark sweet cherries and I'm soaking to get the yucky stuff off. I just want to mention that if you want to grow a cherry tree, it needs to go through a cold frame. And this is a plum pit. And it's already gone through its cold phase. And it's got a really hard shell with a seed inside the shell. And no wonder I can't ever get a tree from these things, but I'm soaking it, trying to soften up the shell. It's been in there for weeks. And one more. Lemon. Kiwi. You can tell the difference between a kiwi seed and a lemon seed, and that's a corn from my last crop of corn. I just left them in the garden and let them dry out. Then I brought the cobs in the house and let them dry out some more until the seeds fell off the cobs. And I'm going to show you one more thing because I have last year's lemon seed tree. This is last year's tree. It's dark. I might have the light down on my camera. This is last year's lemon tree. And it's a pretty decent little tree if you ask me. So, if you want to do something easy, lemon tree's the way to go. I'm pulling the lemon off of this lemon tree. I did not grow this one. I bought this one with that lemon on it. So that lemon survived. Since I bought it with a little tiny lemon on it at the end of March in Florida. And brought it home. Always bringing things home when I go somewhere. It's been losing leaves. I've been watching this really closely and I have been spraying it. It has been treated for spider mites. I think that does damage the leaves when you're spraying for spider mites. But I don't see any more. I don't know. I also watered quite a few things with the Epsom salt in my watering can. That helps. It has magnesium in it and it helps the leaves. Magnesium. Leaves need magnesium. I've never used it before, but you know, I've been seeing people talk about it for ages and ages. So I'll use it more next year because I can already see it working. And I love my tree up there. I did some more research, and you're not supposed to trim up hibiscus trees in the winter. You can do it in the spring, you can do it in late fall, just not in the winter. I am going to try air layering on this tree, and I'll show you guys. And if you notice me repeating things, that's because somebody might just watch one video of mine, and I want to make sure the information gets out there if it's something I'm talking about. Like, you got to refrigerate seeds or you're going to be disappointed. I found the bells to my water feature. Or I didn't, my daughter did. Thank you, Crystal, very much for taking that extra minute